So this seems to be working all right. I've been having some problems with Restream. It was giving me some issues when I was trying to set this up. And it's telling me there's issues now. What is... Okay, yeah. Okay, I don't see what the problem is. Yeah, it's giving me this little warning thing, but I do not see what the problem would be. So at least we got some people in here. So I'll just go right on ahead because I don't think it looks like the problem is with the Facebook stream, not all of them. So we'll see. But yeah, I decided to go live because I want to talk about this whole thing with Nick Rakita. And I did a video on it yesterday. This whole thing with him, I didn't know he was going to be the one, but the people that he hangs out with are people that I'm very familiar with. So yeah, he has been arrested. There's been weird stuff about him for some time now. He and his wife were going to swinger events, and I believe they were on a swingers cruise, and that was reported on. And so that was a bit weird. Then people were talking about him masturbating on camera. Apparently that happened. Like they didn't see anything, but uh, yeah, there apparently like it was just off camera. And then yesterday we get hit with that him, his wife, and his girlfriend have all been arrested for drug possession. Now I am familiar with his girlfriend, April Emolte, because her husband, who she's recently separated from and are getting a divorce, uh, he is her husband Aaron runs a show called the Steel Toe Morning Show. I'm out later. You hate that dude? I really don't hate him. Yeah, I don't hate him. I just I think he's just making some really really poor decisions. Um, Obviously, that happens with most people who uh, are into drugs. But he's been making poor decisions in terms of who he's friends with. Um, Gossip Girl. Well, the thing about it is, all this stuff is all a matter of the record. Uh, you know, it, people have been. It's been rumored a lot of this stuff for a while. Like Aaron and April, I've made comments about it because it was rumored that they were divorcing. Was also rumored that they were at swinger stuff, which that's fine if that's if that's your thing. I find it funny, but the whole drug thing didn't become apparent, at least to me, until here recently. But I shouldn't have been surprised because Rakita Law, he started getting close with Chrissy Mayer. Now, Chrissy Mayer is a comedian. She was at January 6th. Uh, I really don't like her show. I've watched it. When she first came on the scene, I was like, oh, okay. I think I like this girl. I like her comedy. And just as I started watching more and more, I got very turned off from her show. Uh, and then it came out that anyone, because I'm in a couple discords, and it came out in those discords that anyone who was critical of them, her husband, now husband, then boyfriend, Frank, would make accounts to harass those people. And it became very credible very quickly. Here, I'm just still gossip and tacky to share people's business. Um, I mean, it's all news now. The arrests are in the news. So now I'm just talking about what led up to it. So if you don't like it, I mean, you're welcome not to watch. Uh, I didn't talk about much of this stuff until it became, in the news. Um, and the thing about it is, I genuinely, I really liked Nick Rakita and his legal opinion. He was one of the law tubers that I initially followed. Him and probably him, Tug, and Uncivil Law were uh, the ones that I initially followed. DUI guy, he came later. Um, but this is not. This is more of a warning, about Chrissy Mayer and Frank, her husband. Uh, there were other people in their sphere. Another comedian, Gino Bisconti, is one who went badly down the road of substance abuse. Badly. So this is not new stuff in her sphere. Uh, so, you know, with many of these people, what's the point? Does he owe you money? Or do you enjoy sharing people's misfortunes? Um, it's funny you say that, Schadenfreude. It's funny you say that because what was Nick Rakita's channel? It was a law channel where he would talk about and share people's misfortunes. Uh, this is definitely, this with a lot of these things, like I used to always tell my Marines, it rarely do you see, like, when someone's getting in trouble, okay? I had Marines who would complain and say, "Oh, you're just trying to get me in trouble." Okay, but rarely does that actually happen that way. Sorry, the dog did her business and now I got to clean it up. So yeah, rarely did I, you know, did I deal with these things. Whoa, there we go. I'm just trying to get it all set up so that I can clean up after the pup. Oh, come on. Now I got bees flying around me. Um, yeah, people who are doing things wrong are normally doing several things wrong. Uh, and also, this is a good, lesson of, the people that you hang out with. You want to know who you are? Show me your friends. Uh, there we go. Got to clean up after your animals, people. I think there's a dumpster over here. Let me get this going. But yeah, these are good lessons. And sometimes your friends can lead you to bad places and lead you onto hard times. But here's what we know about this case already. Uh, so far, Nick and his wife have been given bail, 50,000 each, I believe, is what it was. Uh, April was let go of her own recognizance. Uh, there are people out there saying that this was due to a mandatory reporter, so that would be school, doctor, trying to think, school, doctor, law enforcement. So someone who had intimate knowledge. I don't know if that's true or not. It may be. It may be. It could also be, you know, it could have been Aaron a multi because, you know, here his wife is. She left him. She's now in a throuple with Nick and his wife. And, uh, you know, she ran off with his kids to be with these two. So I could understand if he's got some bitterness there. Do you know about Grudge Judge? Oh, yes, I will get into Grudge Judge. Waves a bag of shit at us. Well, short PSA. Well, you know, that's what you get. I take the dog out on my walks, and she, you know, you got to clean up after your dogs. Uh, but yeah, so it could have been Aaron. It could have been. It could have been a mandatory reporter, as people were saying. But I think it's pretty clear that because April was not given any type of sorry for the wind. Because April was not given any type of bail, I think it's pretty clear she flipped on Nick and his wife. Uh, you know, I feel really bad for him. His wife, oh my God, she looks really bad in that picture. I, I hope that's not an indicator of what the drugs have done to her, because she was a very attractive woman. But in that mugshot, she looks rough. But it could just be the mugshot. Uh, I hope, I hope they all get clean. Um, you know, they all have kids, so it's sad for the kids. Um, but you know, I never had to make a case against a Marine. They always made the case themselves. I had people who were like, "Oh, you got to throw the book at them for this and stuff like that." I never needed to. Uh, if they were doing something wrong, what I normally found is if it was happening in one area, it was happening with the others, and that's kind of what you see with this. You know, uh, the slow, gradual decline of, you know, someone who's, you know, very respected attorney to now it's just scandal after scandal. And I get that people are mad I'm talking about the scandal, but I mean, it's part of the case now. Uh, I hope people realize, though, the crux of the problem really is Chrissy, Mayer, and Frank. They, this is not the first people that they've brought into their circle, brought into substance abuse. Uh, and then when things happen, she tends to reap the benefits. So I'm sure she's going to be all about talking about this on her show. And she's the one that introduced all these people. Uh, they need prayers. They need rehab help. Absolutely. Courtesy, good job. You are a responsible pet owner. You know, I try to be. Could you please go after the smart ass lawyer from Georgia? I'm tired of seeing him in my feed, cocky prick. Which one is that one? Uh, which one's the smart ass lawyer from Georgia? No, I'm not in Arizona. I'm in California. I'm in California. It is a desert though, as you can see, desert of California. Um, but yeah, Chrissy Mayer and her husband Frank introduced all of these people. I do know her and Frank have done the nose candy, have made money off the nose candy. That's why, you know, when I see her at these Trump things, because here's the other thing. Chrissy was very, and still is, very big into sex work and gay pride and all this stuff. And then at the same time that she was pushing all that, then became very MAGA. And for me, that was when the red flag started, because I was like, okay, so you're getting into these groups that are going to bring you a lot of views. You know, I'm not saying that you can't be both gay pride and MAGA at the same time. You absolutely can. But to jump headfirst into those all at the same time, you know, just really told me she was doing it for views. Um, she's done a lot of different things uh, with different groups. But I've seen, like she's close with Venti. So if you follow Brittany on YouTube, she's gotten very close with her. Brittany kind of cooled it after a while. I'm trying to think who else. Gino Visconti and his girlfriend Canoe. Uh, they are deep in the substance abuse, and they do their shows on the same network and hang out quite a bit together. Sorry, I'm just trying to see. Umbrella Guy and Megan were in tears over Nick last night. Yeah, he's a friend of theirs, so it really sucks. I've had friends who have fallen into substance abuse, and it hurts because one, you can see the damage, and there really isn't anything you can do or say. You can try. When a good friend of mine, he got into substance abuse, I created some distance. I let him know that he was still my friend, and I loved him, but I had to keep that distance from him because I was not going to get dragged down into where he was going. And I did say, I think you're in a bad spot. When you're ready to get out of it, you let me know. And he eventually got clean. Uh, he thankfully didn't have to go through anything like this. You know, as you all know who've been watching me, I've got my battles. I've been harassed, and there's been updates on that. I haven't been going live. I haven't been doing videos to talk about it because it does affect me emotionally. And having my PTSD and having worked on it, I know that I have to be in control of my emotions. I don't want to have any out of control emotions on live on stream or in any of my videos. People were talking to me about Jeremy Hamels about that, like the way he was talking with George, not this Sunday, but the Sunday prior. Uh, People go through stuff. All we see is a snippet. Uh, so I try to remain cognizant of it. I had some things that happened in the last 2 weeks that, you know, absolutely affected my emotions. It was nothing that I wanted to broadcast at this time. It is things I will talk about. Uh, I have court on Thursday, so that will cause me emotions. Um, I am very confident that court will go in my favor. I've got several reasons to believe that. So, I yeah, I'm not broadcasting a lot of it because it's just not ready for broadcast yet. Um, Nick was still doing lives up until I think 3 nights ago. Um, when you're going through stuff, which I would imagine he is going through some stuff even before this. What's with the rappel rope? It's my leash for my dog. She's right there. Uh, Callie rocks, yeah. Uh, I say be gay all you want, just don't force it on everyone's. Yeah, especially kids. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Speaking MAGA, Trump 2024. You guys, okay. Uh, I'm a veteran, so any American, you can support whomever you want, and I will support your right to support that. Uh, but yeah, that's what I see as this as there are people, drug predators out there, and that's what I think Chrissy and Frank are. I think Chrissy and Frank are also fake people. Uh, and I see where they've gotten into spheres of influence of Nick, of the Maltese, and I don't see anything that they do as positive. So that's really my takeaway from it is that they're miserable people want you to join in their misery so that they can feel better. And that is so true of so many drug people. As you guys have all seen on the stream, I've got my friend Angel, who I've been hanging out with, and she's been on the channel, before. Uh, Good person. Uh, she's had substance abuse struggles. She's clean, but she's had them in the past, and she showed me uh, a comedian who did a thing called meth piss. This comedian who was talking about how she was addicted to meth, and apparently meth doesn't get processed by your body, so when you pee it out, it's still meth. So she realized she could drink her own pee to get high again. It's a really funny, when go onto YouTube and search it. I do know she talked about it on the show. This is not happening, but it was very funny, and it was interesting watching that with Angel, because as the girl was talking, Angel was pausing and was like, "Oh my God, this is a drug thing." Like at one point, she was talking about coloring, and she's like, "Every drug girl who gets deep into drugs thinks there's some grand artist, and they always have their paints and their stencils and all this stuff because they're going to make art, and they think drugs are the way to making that." So it was really interesting listening to that and getting her perspective. uh, but yeah, Google, this is not happening, meth piss. It's a pretty funny set. I don't know, I wish I knew the comedian's name, but I don't know her name. uh, but yeah, that's what you'll find is people who, and even in the thing she talks about, oh, like I can't trust a random drug person, and it's like, yeah, you can't. I'm gonna cross. The dog is starting to get tired. The dog gets tired before I do. What kind of a walk is this? But yeah, that's the way I saw it. I've been watching this whole thing unfold for probably at least 2 years, probably longer than that. And let me see. I don't want to miss any of your comments. Okay, I can't tell what that one is. Uh, but yeah, it sucks. You're out. Okay. Just realized you are a Democrat. Actually not. I just live in California. uh, you are in my prayers. Do not know you personally, but I do care about you. Can do is go through Christ. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Hope no one like you comes after you sharing your business and shaming you. Too late. Too late. People have already done it. Uh, that's again, I go back to, this is like, this literally, this is a legal case. This is what Rakita built his whole YouTube channel on. So I'm sorry if you don't like it. Um, but these are all people who have, they all have shows. They publicly talk about their stuff. I had people talk about my stuff when I was not sharing it. People who are going into courtroom files and stuff. Um, so it's public record, which means it's fair game and open for discussion. You know, don't know what to tell you. Don't, you know, try not to have anything to pull you into court. For me, was not my doing. But I think we're going to come to a very quick end here because, like I've talked on the channel, one of the people harassing me, I now have 17 counts of contempt of court against them. So I got a feeling now that the tide is turning, they're going to want to end all this courtroom drama, which is perfectly fine by me. I, when they started this on me, I was fine with that. When they end it, I'll be fine with it. But it's now, like, they've crossed enough lines that now I have to talk about it. When I got attacked, I had to start talking about this courtroom stuff. Uh, I was keeping it private for a very long time. But, that's the same thing with these guys. This is what This is what Nick has done. Sorry, I'm just trying to look here. Okay, we got 25 people in the stream. If everyone could please hit the like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You really help me out. Um, but yeah, Rakita, this situation is what I wanted to talk about because there's been some developments. I don't think people realize that April Multe has flipped on them. But yeah, when she doesn't have to post bail and gets released of her own recognizance, but him and his wife have to post bail. Tip of the hat. Tip of the hat. She is talking. And, yep. But, you know, it sucks. They all put themselves in this position. Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad, okay? You do drugs, you're bad, okay? You know, it's what they told us when we were kids. You know, they dared us to say no to drugs. What a horrible drug campaign that was. Like, the Just Say No campaign was way better, in my opinion, because it was a simple message. You could make fun of it and whatnot, but it was a simple message. But dare, that was such a failure. I'm convinced there are no good ideas that come out of Los Angeles. That was an LA idea. I'll have people think I'm a Democrat. Have you watched any of my videos before? I had people who were mad at me, veterans who were mad at me. They're like, "You're getting way too political." But that's when you're a veteran, things are political because guess who gives us our disability money? Guess who uh, you know guess who gives us our benefits? Politicians. It's all done via law. It's going to be political. That's the way it is. The thing is, don't let your politics affect your personal life. And by that, I mean people can disagree and disagree respectfully. I would love to have another veteran who wanted to come on Veteran Nation who is a Democrat, who, believes in DEI, because we should be able to have differing opinions. My co host, TC, he's a libertarian. I'm a Republican. There's a lot of things we see eye to eye on, a couple things we don't, a couple recent things we've talked about that we don't see eye to eye. He thought I crossed the line on a post, but we can talk about it, and that's what's important. So, don't know what this guy's doing. Car pulled up and pulled over right at me, like he wanted to talk to me. I can't help you. Let's see, what other big things are happening? We had a attempted carjacking in my town, small town out here in California. It's because LA is bringing its infection out here. I was just in LA the other day. Oh, I am so glad every time I can leave that place, but I had to go down there. We'll be going down Okay, we're live again. Sorry about that. The phone overheated. So glad to see that we are back. Whew. You guys make me laugh. Don't talk about this stuff. It's a public case. This is what Nick Rakita's whole channel is. But I shouldn't talk about him. He talks about people all the time. Let's see. Yeah, we're still alive. So we're about ready to end the walk here, though. This dog, she wants to go in and get some water. Sorry about the wind. It's one thing out here you can't control is the wind. But it's actually not a bad windy day. It was worse. That's Yeah, I'll be following this case just as Nick followed many other cases. Uh but yeah. I'll be doing some stuff about Judge Grudge. I've got updates about Grudge Judge because even though he was removed from Jeremy Hale's case, does not mean I'm done. Dog, what are you doing? This dog is acting really weird. You don't want to walk in the sand. You only want to walk on this concrete. Okay. So yeah. Oh, and I did make my call to the FBI in Florida about Jeremy Hales. So I did do that. Because I know people were asking, did you call? Yes, I did call. I also That'll be one of my big updates is I filed a complaint with Florida Attorney General. So that complaint has been filed both against Levy County Sheriff's Department. Uh, the and then the I got a letter about Grudge Judge, an official letter. So I'll be addressing that as well. So those are sneak peek into my updates. But yeah, we'll see about some of these cases and the stuff going on with them. Uh, I did push out on my Twitter a Veterans Affairs video where he was harassed at the VA. So check that out. Go onto his channel. Veterans Affair Media. That's the name of his channel. Okay, I'm in the shade finally. Ooh, it is getting hot here. It's gonna be 85 today. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Uh, yeah, because it's too hot. I gotta get inside, cool down a bit. So, laughing about you guys. All right. Well, you all have a good one. Have a blessed day, and I'll catch you on the next one. And uh, as always, uh, thank you for